there's a full moon, and that full moon is going to be an eclipse. Let's talk some more about it. Now, this is the path of visibility for the eclipse. So August 27th in the night is going to be on this side, and then for us in Europe, as you can see, it's going to be before sunrise, starting at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., like that. All right, pretty simple. Now, this full moon eclipse is going to be a partial one, but as you can see, it's the partial part is very small. So this is all of the moon that's getting eclipsed, and there's a little bit left out, which is why we call it in technicality partial. Now, I'm a Vedic astrologer. My name is Aurelie. I'm going to be using Jyotisha and some of the calculations and the zodiac that is linked to Vedic astrology to talk to you about this upcoming full moon. Stick around, have an open mind. I have beautiful offerings. I do one-on-one private readings, newborn written reports, and all sorts of wonderful offerings. Check out my website. Thank you for giving this page support and putting little thumbs up. It helps a lot. And thank you for being here. All right. So we talked about the 27th, 28th. You know there's a full moon and you know there's an eclipse. We just had a solar eclipse that was with Ketu. And now we're going to have this full moon that is going to be with Rahu. Now, Rahu and Ketu are always moving opposite of each other. They face each other, as you can see, and they're moving backwards through the zodiac. This is the last set of eclipses in the Aquarius and Leo axis. And this full moon eclipse is going to be rising in the stars of Shatabhisha, which is the healers. But it's a very, it's a healing star, but it's a very healing with spiritual energy. It's a bit more mystical healing, doing things to help you kind of shift your energetic layer of the body. Aquarius is a revolutionary sign. It's a sign that wants to change, and this moon is getting full with Rahu, and Rahu. Rahu's the head without a body. Rahu's the overthinker. Rahu's the one that gives you anxiety. Rahu takes away your wealth of time because it makes you think about things. You know, it makes you ruminate and obsess. And while you're ruminating and obsessing, your time that the sun has given you, sun is time, is getting drained out. Yeah, it's like the Rahu taxes the sun. And so that's something you have to be mindful of. It's fine to think things through. Give yourself, if there's been a breakup, if there's been someone who's made you upset, there's a beautiful technique that someone taught me, which is you get 30 minutes, you put a timer, you sit down, and you're gonna give it your all. Like, she did this, he did that, blah blah blah. Like, just go down with it, you know, just like sit and really just give it your whole focus and dedication. And when that timer comes out, the rest of your day, every time it comes, you say, no, I'll tomorrow when the timer goes on again, I'll go back to it and ruminate on that. And I think that's something that's really, really helpful to just teach your own mind to put things on a shelf. You don't have to shove it away. Sometimes we do need some space to be in that headspace where you're thinking things through, but it also just being a little mindful of losing time, which is precious, and being present. Yeah, Rahu has this way of stealing away a little bit your sense of being present in the world. And sometimes we say, yeah, Rahu can give you kind of this like traumatic event, but that kind of gets you stuck right somewhere else than being in the moment. So it's really important, especially with this moon Rahu, as we get closer to the eclipse, to be a little mindful of just being taken away from what's happening here and now. So this is an eclipse where you want to be practicing between now and Thursday. You want to be practicing your here and now. I'm in my body. I'm centered. I'm anchored. Talk to people. You know, make sure you're going through your day, having a routine. Like, all these things are really, really important. Okay? Right. In spiritual terms, we say that we say especially Rahu's influence in the world makes us really drawn into Maya. And Rahu can give you the sense of wanting more. We talked about the obsession and the ruminating mind, but it can also make you want more of the world, just like there's not enough. Sometimes we say it disturbs your senses. Also show addictions, okay? too much of certain things, too much of certain pleasures. And you know, but if you think about it, the addiction part also has to do with never enough, yeah? And that's something to really consider, especially with this full moon, you know, this checking in about having goals is wonderful, but you have to have goals within the sense of knowing you're already whole. You're already in that. It's fine to want to achieve things, but you have to have that sense of wholeness within yourself, that it doesn't become something where you're like, when I have this, then I'm going to be okay. When I have that, then I'm going to be okay. And then you never stop. And then you never really fully appreciate what is here now. And things can, yeah, it's just be mindful of that. Rahu can do a little bit of that on the mind. Okay, and return to your sense of wholeness. Now, sometimes Rahu, if it's affecting Venus, if it's affecting other things, can give a little bit of deviant, over-sexual stuff, or things that maybe you might have done that you may feel ashamed of. Rahu's very much so in the activation of shame wounds. One of the reasons why is because Rahu's very impulsive, and so that can bring up shame wounds from past things you may have done when you were younger. So this full moon is nice, especially if you want to do some releasing of things you may be carrying, disappointments that you've had over your own self, or things you've done that you have a hard time digesting, that you have a hard time making peace with. This full moon eclipse is really nice to do that, to do a practice that's sort of like cleansing some of the Rahu energy from your life, or giving it a little bit of a reset. And I mentioned the impulsivity, but that's definitely something to watch out for with this full moon, okay? I always joke around, but, you know, with these combinations, it's like you don't need a haircut, you don't need to get bangs, you don't need a whole new wardrobe, you don't have to change your personality in the next 48 hours, you know? It's like, I was a little bit like that, a little impulsive, wanting change, and just, yeah. All right, so you can wait until you get a haircut, until after the eclipse, okay? No drastic changes. No impulsive drastic changes. Maybe the haircut's a great idea, but just, you know, after the eclipse is nice. All right. September is going to be sweet because Venus is going into its own sign. It's going to be very strong until it retrogrades in October, but Venus will be strong in September, which is lovely compared to what it's now, which is debilitated. And we're coming out of eclipses, and Jupiter is still there and exalted. And so that's nice. And Mars will be debilitated eventually in October. But Jupiter is there, and we'll talk more about that. But other than that, it's like September is just like a sweet energy, and it's really great that we get this last eclipses that are wrapping up. And so that, you know, the beginning of our year, which is, you know, for kids started school in September and everything starting in September. So it's like, it's just nice that we have kind of this clear, clean energy that's past the eclipse for our beginning of September. All right, so this is your full moon lunar eclipse review. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to talk to you about. In the religious calendar, I always separate the stars, the moon, the planetary placements, and the religious calendar because I'm not a religious teacher. I'm a Jyotishi, and sure, I'm pretty religious, but I'm not here to teach you about religion. I'm here to talk to you about the Jyotisha, and both are very intertwined and linked. It's a special time when brothers and sisters tie string in the Hindu religion to give each other a blessing out of love, and it's a really sweet Hindu tradition. So that's what this full moon is going to be in India. So you're aware. We're at the end of Shravan. Since we're in the religious calendar, we're at the end of Shravan. It's a special month that is dedicated to Lord Shiva, and so this full moon has this special sambandha with this tradition and Lord Shiva. And then in September we'll be going for Ganesha. There's going to be a lot of Ganesha Chaturthi, and around 17th we're going for Krishna Janmashtami on the 4th of September, and then after that it's going to be Ganesha Chaturthi on the 7th or 15th, something like that. I think it's 14th actually. Ganesha Chaturthi is on the 14th. And then it's going to be a full moon of Ganesha. So yeah, there's another part of September where it's like even the religious calendar is just sweet. I don't know. I do a lot of Ganesha sadhana, so feel close to that energy. But yes, that's for the religious vibration. Now during eclipse time, there's a lot that we recommend and don't recommend. I'll let you all look it up. There's plenty said about that, but for the most part, take it easy on meditation, not to do kind of strange, crazy practices. Just keep things simple and your usual mantras and take a shower before and after. For this specific full moon, I don't really recommend being under the light of the full moon. And that's just a personal recommendation, mostly because it's a moon Rahu energy.